I was drawn to his handsome face and his beautiful blue eyes, and I felt as though I had known him all my life. Gary had a good sense of humor, and he always was quick with a funny remark. He had names for people that were well known. He called Frank Sinatra, Frank Sinister, and he used to refer to the program, The Young and the Restless, as the dumb and the useless. He also was a very romantic man, and he bought me carnations every other week because that was my favorite flower. And he was a hardworking man. He worked as an auto body mechanic ever since he was 14, and he continued to do so until he was 62. And he was also the type of person who liked to give back to the community and was even a volunteer fireman for a while. Gary and I did some wonderful things together. We took vacations together. He used to be a race car driver when he was younger, and I have to say I was happy he wasn't doing it anymore. But in spite of that, Gary and I went to see his brother Donnie race at Lebanon Valley in New York State. And then afterwards, we often went to Donnie and Ann's house for a little meal afterwards. And we missed that too. And Gary, when we got married, made it very clear to me that he didn't like the cold, he didn't want to stay in New York State and wanted to move to Florida. So in 2014, we bought a mobile home in Bradenton Tropical Palms, and we made some great friends down here, including our church family at Braden River Presbyterian Church here. Our modest home is located across from the community pool, and we purposely bought that one because Gary and I used to both be avid swimmers. In fact, when Gary was in high school, he was on the swim team, and then he had to leave the swim team because he punctured his eardrum, but I guess that had a good part to it too, because it kept him out of the military, because they wouldn't take him because he had a damaged ear. But we went swimming regularly in the community pool, and now I go by myself, and at least have some friends who sometimes go with me. Gary often talked about his son Joey, and he was so surprised and happy when Joey showed up at our door on Gary's 65th birthday. Joey knew that Gary had cancer, and he's surprised, and Gary was absolutely shocked and delighted. And while we were married, Gary joined an all-men's bowling league, and he went bowling on the days when I went for music lessons. So we had our interests that we shared in common. We also did things on our own. And I wound up taking voice lessons with former international opera singer Carol Sparrow, who, with her husband Randy Locke, will perform for us today. And we're very honored about that. And I have to say that Gary brought out the best in me. He was really an optimist, and whenever I wanted to give up, like if I wanted to give up my studies, he would say to me, "You can't give up, Jeannie, you have too much going for you." And I am studying medical transcription editing, and I hope to graduate and find work I can do at home in the winter. I'm hoping for that. And Gary he was my soulmate and my inspiration. My steadfast rock who helped me through thick and thin. I know it's hard to believe, but Gary and I never argued. I have to tell you a story that I'm digressing for a minute, but I'm just thinking about the only time we ever had an argument. This is before we got married. Somebody gave me a fragrance for my birthday, and it was called patchouli. And I came home and I had it on me, and Gary had a fit, and he started yelling at me, "You're wearing that horrible patchouli. How could could you do that? If you do that, I swear I will not marry you. And I said to him, well, I'm sorry, someone just gave it to me for my birthday, and I'm gonna throw it in the garbage. So that's what happened with that. Gary often told me he didn't have an easy life, and I believe that to be true. But I loved him so much that I made it my mission to make Gary happy, and I believe that I did accomplish that, if nothing else. Gary became ill in 2016 after he accidentally electrocuted himself with the Christmas lights in December of 2016. We thought he had a heart attack, but he was told he had small cell lung cancer, limited stage. Well, limited stage can be a lifesaver in terms of many cancers, but it is not necessarily the case when it comes to lung cancer. Small cell lung cancer is the worst kind. It's a very nasty illness. And even though Gary tried to fight his cancer with radiation and chemotherapy, he died suddenly on May 31st, on the very day that he was told that his cancer was in remission. Gary's probably in heaven now, but I know he's looking down on us with a big smile on his face, saying, forge ahead, make the best of life, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye, my dear, sweet husband, Gary, and God bless. Thank you.